darlings. It's Elita again. I'm going to see if I can show you more of the side quests. So here we go. I'm going to talk to this Radiant Scout here. See what he has to say for himself. Something has the Radiant Scout unnerved. Ah, Mistress Elita, you couldn't have appeared at a better time. You see, while out patrolling the city, I chanced to see a void scent. I immediately chased it down with the intent of eliminating it, but something about it struck me as odd. For one, it made no move to defend itself, but simply sat there, jiggling? Which is why, against my better judgment, I decided to capture it instead. Having travelled to the void, I dare say you have considerable knowledge of its denizens. If you have a moment, might I trouble you for your opinion on the creature's unusual behaviour? I am truly grateful. Now, if you would follow me, the creature is being held in the Hall of the Radiant Host. The void scent glowers in your direction but says nothing. Here it is. Surprisingly docile even when I captured it, and there have been no reports of attacks prior to that. Even so, it's the nature of void scent to prey upon people for their ether. Perhaps it bides its time, waiting to carry out some manner of scheme. You! I remember you! Yes, you were at Troya! Please, you must help me! What do you need help with? Oh, you do understand me! I understand the mortal tongue well enough, but I don't have a mouth to produce the sounds. It's been a struggle to convey my thoughts. But not anymore. You can help me. Yes, you can. You can converse with the void scent? Amazing! Could you ask it why it came here? When you and yours stormed the castle, I was caught up in the fighting and died. In time, I returned, but I tired of fighting, so I fled, using the gate to your world. Having just been reborn, however, my essence hadn't fully bound together yet, and so when I emerged from the gate, it was several sundered selves. Frightened and confused, they scattered. Following their trail led me here, my diminutive size allowing me to remain largely unseen. But by the same token, I can do little more than sneak about. Each of us was weak and powerless. That's why we consumed one another in the first place. Together we were strong. I want you to help me find all of me, so that I can be whole again. You wish to strike a bargain, then? Yes, I would. To be whole again and live in this world, I would strike 1,000 bargains. We still remember the past, you see. Still remember when we were mortals. We long to have that life again, but we need your help, starting by reuniting us. We won't try to devour anyone even when we're whole, I swear. You wish to learn more about the Void, yes? There is much we can teach you about those who rule its domains, about their past. Find the others, and they'll tell you all they know. No eating, no tricks. Do we have a bargain? So it crossed over to our world to escape conflict, and now searches for the rest of itself? I understand void synths are quite reliable when it comes to fulfilling a pact, and I dare say having one as an ally would benefit our research into the world. Very well, if you'd be so kind as to search for its kin, I will consult my superiors on how to deal with them. By that, I take it we have a bargain. Good, good. I sense 4 others close by. When you find them, you need only point them in this direction. Once they sense my presence, I can guide them the rest of the way. My thanks for your help. If you could see the other voice sent back here, I will tend to the rest. Like me, the others have an interest in the lives of mortals. They are bound to be here in this city. What's that? I asked you to search for me in exchange for knowledge about powerful void scent. I was still wanting to see this and that, but I suppose a deal is a deal. Those men over there, soldiers, are they not? We used to have soldiers on our world too. There were lots of them during the Contra Memoria. Ah, back from Weaver's warding, are you? I hear you fought well against the void scent that slipped through. Come now, I merely did my duty. Haven't we all sworn to protect our nation no matter the cost? Protect our nation? How familiar are those words? Where was it I heard them? Ah, yes, it was the early days of the Contra Memoria. The enemy had conjured a terrible eidolon that laid siege to a fortress. The garrison was made up of ordinary soldiers, men and women with no remarkable abilities, but led by their valiant commander, they fought bravely and desperately. They had to last until the Memorias arrived. The commander told them they needed to hold out no matter the cost. A Memoria did eventually arrive, but not too soon enough for the soldiers. Having struck down the eidolon, the Memoriad and his servants searched the castle for survivors. They found only the dead. But just as they had given up all hope, a faint groaning reached their ears. They rushed over to the sound and cleared away debris. To find a lone survivor, the garrison commander. Instead of joy, however, the sight of the man filled them with anger. Your soldiers are slaughtered to a man, yet there's barely a scratch on you. What is the meaning of this? The eidolon was savage but mindless. It was a simple thing to hide myself beneath fallen debris. Hide? As a commander, you had a duty to your men. You were supposed to put their lives before your own. Spare me. My duty was to ensure the Frodo stood, and it did. Besides, my death would have achieved nothing. Honor be damned. No, I'm sworn to protect our nation, and to do that I must live. It isn't my fate to fall here. Isn't your fate, you say? Is he merely unconscious? Come, let us bury the soldiers, and their commander with them. Fate shall decide what becomes of him, whether he lives or dies. Very well, my lord. Funeral rites were later held for the fallen, but solemn tears quickly gave way to horrified screams as a body emerged from the earth. The commander. I can't die. I must live, the man is said to have declared. The people thought him a demon, a dishevelled horror, muttering curses as he wandered off to regions unknown. Scarlamigioni, she called them, a name befitting his newfound grisly visage, a name befitting a monster. We thought him buried deep, but a mortal's desire to live is not to be underestimated. You're immortal, so I expect you understand that desire. Well, that concludes my tale. I'd best rejoin myself, if you'll excuse me. So, this is where mortals consume ether. Dreading loneliness more than hunger. How very like me. If you don't mind though, I'd like to observe the mortals a while longer. The food here is simply sublime. Why, I feel stronger with every bite, as if the Murga themselves were granting me their blessing. The food is tasty, that's true enough, but no food is so sublime as to be a substitute for proper training, my friend. Stronger with every bite, every feed. For my part of the bargain, I will tell you about how we voidsmen become strong. Simply put, it depends on the quality and quantity of ether we harbour. When the world was consumed by darkness, the heroes known as Memoriates arose as powerful voidsent. In contrast, the vast majority of mortals, powerless and unremarkable as they were, became ordinary voidsent like me. There were exceptions, of course, but one in particular I'll never forget. Scarmigione. Never have I seen a voidsent so craven. Even when pushed to the brink of starvation, he would prey upon only on those weaker than himself. He subsided on scant leavings, and lived in constant fear and hunger. In the face of danger, a voidsent stronger than himself, fleeing was the only option. But a day came when he found his way barred. How pitiful.
Such overwhelming ether. Who is this?
You fled instead of facing your foe. Why?
Why? I'm too weak. Why else? I would have been devoured.
So, had you enough strength, you would have stood your ground. Very well then.
What's happening? Yes, I feel it. The power swelling within me.
Lo, your foe returns.
What have you done to me?
I granted you but a sliver of ether. 'Twas with the power you already possessed that you defeated your foe.
I possessed such power?
Fear had clouded your eyes, blinded you to the strength you had attained feeding on the weak. If you would free yourself from fear, then join me. You shall have a greater cause to live for, and know true power.
Curious how, in a world without death, the fear of it could be a key to great strength. The knight recognized this, recognized the void sense potential, and thus did he take him into his service. Determined as he is to live, it wouldn't surprise me if he were still somewhere out there. He'd be even more powerful now, I expect, from all the devouring he would have done since. Unlike your world, eating actually makes you stronger in ours. Well, I must be going now. The others are waiting. My other self grows lonely, you say? My apologies. It was my intent to seek out the others, but I was distracted by the bickering pair of mortals yonder. My goodness, but there's been some colourful language.
To hells with your father! You shouldn't need his permission just to leave the god's damned house.
Please, mind your language. What would father say if he were to hear you?
No, it's always father this and father that with you. I'm sick of it. You're your own woman now. Bloody act like one for a change.
Colourful language, yes? Not from the girl, though. Oh, no. She appears to be quite well bred. I just hope she's happier than the girl I knew long, long ago. That girl was born into a family of thugs who suddenly found themselves nobility. She was raised as a noblewoman and had servants tending to her every need, but in the end she was merely a beautiful bird kept in a gilded cage. Wanting her to be a proper lady, her parents presided over all aspects of her life. They decided everything for her, telling her what to say and do. Chafing from the fetters of her restrictive life, She solicited her handmaiden's aid and stole outside the manor, where she enjoyed a moment of bliss, unbeknownst to her parents, or so she thought. It was not long before her father dragged her back to her room, barring the door and windows, denying her even the simple pleasure of an afternoon breeze. Even a bird in a cage may chirp freely, but she wasn't even suffered to give voice to her desires. But she wouldn't be deterred. Having once tasted sweet freedom, she yearned for more, and one day she succeeded in sneaking out of the manor a second time. You're late. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come.
If you're expecting your friends, I'm afraid they're not coming.
Father, how did you... What do you mean they're not coming?
I had known that some miscreants were cavorting in these parts, but to think they dare try to consort with my daughter, well, you needn't worry about them any more. They're food for the fishes now.
How could you do this, Father? Why must you torment me so?
Know your place, girl. You are a means for our family to gain influence, and I won't have you sullying yourself with riffraff. You will not leave your chambers save with my permission, nor will you disobey me again. If you do so, there will be severe consequences. Am I understood? I said, am I understood?
To hell.
What did you say?
I said go to hell. Ah. Oh, to think that it could be so exhilarating to speak my mind, to do as I please. No more living in a cage. From this moment on, I am free, free as the wind. The young woman struck out on her own, and in her travels discovered her true calling, not in the halls of lords and ladies, but on the battlefield. She became a force of nature, famed for her striking beauty, which belied a terrible savagery. And with this new life, she claimed a new name, Barbarossa. Indeed, she found her freedom, but did she also find happiness? I wonder. I suppose I'll never know. Nor does it matter, for the world that once was no more. Oh, but goodness me, I had better rejoin the others.
what a refreshing breeze. And to return to others, bah! They should come here. Would you look at this beautiful boundless sky? Mortals take to the air from here, do they not? Would that I had wings to soar among the clouds myself. But we void-sent are not wont to roam, you see. The mightiest among us carve out domains, while the rest labour to stay in their good graces. Now, the master of a domain seldom ventures outside, for it is in one's territory that one is the strongest. For some, however, such confinement proved trying, as was the case for a certain void-sent I knew. I speak of the free-spirited terror, Babracia. When she first established her domain, she whiled away the days, waiting for her minions to bring her prey. The ether amassed from these offerings were devoted to the singular pleasure of caring for her silky flowing locks, but the resources of her domain were not without their limits. It was only when none remained to oppose her that she realized she was a prisoner in her own domain, and unless she broke free, she would inevitably wither away, alone. Not knowing what to do, she had fallen into the depths of despair when the hand of salvation came to pull her out. At this rate, my precious hair will frazzle and fray. Had I only the strength to leave my domain.
If strength is your desire, that is easily granted.
Who are you? Ah, so much power surging through me.
And what will you do with it? What is it you desire?
What I desire? What I desire is...
You would move your very domain. Impressive.
That I can do such a thing. What have you done to me?
I granted you ether, nothing more. It was your will that made it possible.
My will?
Even so, no matter where you should go, there is naught but darkness. What could your destination possibly be?
Destination? I have no need of such. I wish but to be free like the wind. In a world that has met its end, rare indeed is the soul who desires freedom so ardently that she would will her very domain to move. Recognizing this quality, the knight would grant her more power, and a place of command in his mighty army. A story worthy of our bargain, I trust. I might have had more to tell had I not fallen off her domain. It seems you mortals also have a fondness for flying. I'd certainly like to try riding one of those airships of yours. But perhaps another time. My other selves will be a blubbering mess if I don't hurry and rejoin them. You have found the last of the void sent. Time to head back to the Hall of the Radiant Host. Oh, there's Zero. The way the sky changes colour with the passage of time.
It's probably a mundane thing to you, but to me it's a marvel. I dare say I won't soon grow bored in this world. The void center all presence accounted for. So long as they remain here, we needn't worry about panic among the townsfolk.
Thank you so much for finding me. I hope the knowledge I had to share was worthy of our agreement.
More than worthy, I'd say. They told me of Scarlimongia and Barbaricia.
My other selves lived quite disparate lives, both as mortals and void sent, though I suppose it's rather fortuitous that they crossed paths with such powerful void sent. But more importantly, what they could offer was worthy of our bargain. For that I am glad. All that remains now is for us to rejoin and become whole again. Huh? Is this not all of me? There can be no other explanation. There is still more of me lost out there somewhere, but I don't sense them. Where could they have gone?
You mean there's more of them wandering about? By the sisters! At the very least, if what you say is true, they pose no threat to the people. Until the others can be found, we will keep these 5 under our care.
Should I sense the others nearby, I hope we can count on you to find them too. Would you tell us of your recent ventures when you next return? I promise to make it worth your while.
You needn't worry about these void sent. Not a one shall escape my sight. Elita has samples that need delivering, and the anticipation of adventure strikes you like a bracing wind.
Why, hello there. Your arrival could not have been more timely. Mistress Tataru has but left instructions for another batch of deliveries.
She sent her regards, of course. Today she is in Idleshire for business with Rowena's House of Splendours, and tomorrow we'll no doubt find her in some other far-flung corner of the realm. We mustn't be outdone, Elita. This time our samples are destined for 2 organisations in Corthus, an arrangement made possible by none other than Master Seacard. He contacted his dear friend Lord Emmanuel de Fortemps, who was kind enough to spread word of the boutique to his own contacts across Ishgard.
It hardly took any time for the first letter of interest to reach us, and once these samples have been delivered, the interest will be piqued to a passion. Or so I had been assured. Lord Emmanuel insisted he will take care of all the particulates and bid me convey with enthusiasm that he looks forward to accompanying you on the deliveries. Now then, regarding that secret mission of ours. A gorgeous sapphire, is it not? It will make a beautiful necklace once restored. A keepsake of not only Mistress Tattoo's mother, but that of her many friends and allies from across the realm. I am confident that someone of your experience has a most discerning eye for mementos. Bring back anything you think will make a worthy addition. And with that, I leave these samples in your capable hands, and eagerly await your safe return. We must prioritize on delivering samples and advertising the boutique, of course, but perhaps this venture into Ishgard may afford an addition to Mistress Tattoo's necklace. Elita, old girl, 'tis good to see a rosy glow in your cheeks, considering that dreadful business with the imminent destruction of mankind and the end of times and what not. Yes, indeed. Who better to distribute exquisite arms and accoutrements than a bona fide hero such as yourself? Well, I have two parties with simply ravenous interest in your products, dear lady. The first of whom so happens to be rather exquisite herself, my dearest Lady Laniette. Be so good as to precede me to the Rose House. I shall be along promptly, of course, just as soon as I'm coiffed and powdered.
Well met, Elita. 'Tis good to see you hale and whole. Thank you for personally making the trip. I know your obligations are many. Truth be told, your arrival could scarce have the better timing. While our erstwhile troubled relations with the Vanu Vanu improved by the day, we have been forced to reconsider our current munitions due to recent incidents of...
I have come, my darling Blossom. Behold Emmanuel and the Executioner, here to smite your foes with ruthless ardor. Well, I strike a rather smashing silhouette, do I not? Why, Seeker could not have found a better man to give these samples to.
Surely such splendid armour could be put to better use than fashion, Lord Emmanuel. Could I not prevail upon your better sense to relinquish that gear to those who might appreciate its practicality?
Far be it for me to deny any request of yours, Lady Laniete. Only I must confess that I may have slightly exaggerated Sicard's generosity in the matter of gifting these.
Ah, you mean to say you borrowed them? No doubt without his knowledge or consent. And why should I have expected otherwise? Friends may forgive, but it bears repeating that your clients deserve at least a modicum of professionalism. You do have other clients, don't you?
Of course I have, and no little celebrity at that. You remember the Red Bulls? Of course.
The Sky Pirates? That an unexpected adventure should know them hardly surprises me. But how does a privileged son of House Fortemps come to make their direct acquaintance? 'Twas a happy coincidence of ale and circumstance, I assure you. As Elita here can attest, an unbiased range of social contacts is the essential arsenal of not only just adventurers, but any gentleman of consequence, or lady of consequence as it were. Unbiased is all very well, but... Sky Pirates are precisely the problem I was speaking of earlier. Elita, before we were... interrupted... Recently, self-proclaimed Sky Pirates have been marauding trading vessels with troubling audacity. Even the Sky Seal manufactory has reported stolen property at the hands of these ruffians. Troubling news indeed. Though I cannot imagine fellows as amicable as our Red Bills could be responsible. Still, if we should hear aught of it, I shall send word directly. Now then, Elita, off we trot to the infamous Parrock. I have been told to seek out a certain red standard upon Coldwind. How the pulse quickens! This looks rather promising, wouldn't you say? I leave the rest to your uncanny sense of direction, old girl. To the Parrock we go. Well, well.
If you ain't the picture of health, Elita, saving the star from complete annihilation didn't tax you over much then, eh? Let me guess, it was not compared to all the bowing and scraping required of the mercantile genteel. Don't tell me this dandy is what wooed you from the life with sweet nothings of financial comfort. Leofard, my good man. You know as well as I that the only one wooing Elita into anything is yourself. Don't think your interest in our mutual friend here has escaped my notice. Your aim all along was less about armaments than it was an audience with Elita, was it not? Not bad for a dandy. Aye, I might have had me sights on a touching reunion between Elita and myself, but that's not to say I won't be needing those samples. See, I've a job that could right benefit from both your keen sense and those pieces you've brought me, so long as they're half the quality of what Emmanuel was showing, off in the alehouses anyway. I count on your participation, yes? You'll be duly compensated, of course. Just name your price. Parts of a necklace? For the Teru herself, eh? I'd have preferred something you might make use of. But far be it from me to dictate what a woman does with her booty. If that's your recompense, I'll see what I can do. Now that we have you on board, allow me to elaborate. It seems another band of petty thieves has been masquerading as sky pirates, and harrying honest traders as of late. So, you've heard of them? Aye, these so-called monstrous cockatoos don't exactly strike fear into the heart of man, but they're being a right nuisance, and now they've gone and made things personal. You remember the Rymiel, don't you? The captain's old airship? Well, after what happened in Dun's Cave, we've been commissioning the finest airship parts from across the realm for construction of her successor. Only to have the cockapert nincompoops pillage the very Skysteel manufactured vessel that was carrying our precious cargo. The nerve of some people, eh? Makes me mouth water. Of course, once the cockatoos realised whose property they pilfered, they flew into panic and holed up in Idleshire, after stashing the goods somewhere. This is where you and your samples come in. We want you to take Leoford and... Before you spill the rest, Decia, please let's make sure our friend here is still up for a spot of fouling. How about it then? I have been craving game bird lately. Heh. I knew I was right to call you. Those downy ducklings won't know what plucked them.
Quite so. With Elita returned and our crew complete, victory over these ne'er-do-wells is certainly assured.
By the way, do you have any terrible objections if I informed the Rose Knights of the designs upon these charlatans? The Knights are affiliated with the House Harlenet, you see, and thus have particular interest in recovering the contents of that Skysteel vessel. I know my the most capable Lady Laliette simply will not rest until she has brought these scoundrels to justice. Can't say it's an alliance I have considered, but so long as I get all the cockatoo I'm due, our knights most thorny are welcome to catch and cage as they see fit. Splendid. Lady Laniette shall be very glad to hear of it. Overjoyed even. Yes, she may simply be unable to contain her unbounded delight. I must away. Not awaiting us in Idleshire but danger and subterfuge. But such is more tempting to our ilk than lovely knights, eh? Let's be off. I'll explain the rest of our gambit once we get there. Between Leofard hoarding all the shiny baubles, and Kate Sith coveting all the maps and scrolls, the Red Bills ain't been selling much in the way of treasure lately. To be frank, we're flat broke. Sure, restoring the good name of Sky Pirates is a matter of pride, but we simply can't afford to lose the airship parts.
I, for one, am most indignant by how well he looks.
Who's the dandy now, you ask? Heh, I reckon my reputation precedes me in these parts, and the legendary Red Bill Leofard ain't known for togs like these. Though I could get used to this, comfortable, practical, and with a sense of style to boot. Ain't often you find that wholly tried in battle gear. Quite the line you're tooting. Which brings us to your role in my master plan. While it ain't easy lying low in a motley place like Idleshire, these cock-a-hoop cowards have been managing it well enough. So, to lure them out, we're going to spread the savoury rumours of a black market merchant looking to fence fine contraband for even finer coin. That's you. Just strike up a chat with any adventurers or peddlers that seem to share hearsay. I'll be playing your handsome bodyguard, so rest assured I've got your back, mistress. I've taken the liberty of preferring your guise. It ain't as flattering as Leofard's, but you should fit the part nicely in this. Leofard is now a company, keep him at your side, and continue wearing the black market merchant disguise in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Leofard behind by entering a different area or speaking to him. Yep. Speak with Stacia or to restore or prolong the garment change. This gear fits me surer than a glove. I only wish I could wear my own scarf with it. How each Red Bill wears their scarf is their business. Whether they sport it outright or keep it tucked away has no bearing on the rank or allegiance. I don't ask on principle, but I'll admit that I'm dreadfully curious as to where you keep yours.
Stacy and I will be following your progress from the shadows. I initially thought to volunteer my services as the merchant in this charade, but, well, the guise was rather baggy on me. Oh, hold on a moment, let me adjust that for you.
Are there any talking points? No, it doesn't look like it.
Contrabandists? Well, I do know some sky pirates new to town, and just the other day I overheard them discussing their latest windfall.
Yes, just the sort of enterprising folk we're looking for. You think you can help us pin them down?
I'll do what I can. I'm no stranger to sky pirates, so I'll ask around.
A merchant yourself, are you? Perhaps I'm overstepping, but consider this friendly advice. Seeking out sky pirates dressed in such stereotypical garb is akin to dangling a sign from your neck reading, "Purge my purse." Oh, the righteous red bills may pity you, dear lady, but few else. Righteous? Righteous ain't never be to my liking, mate. I can't abide them reprobates that don't honour the creed of sky pirating. Or so you can imagine Red Bill. Leofard might say, not that it's any matter of ours. Anyhow, should you find someone looking to offload dubiously obtained merchandise, send them our way, will you? If you insist, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Yes. Gubby, I catches such sky stealers. Sky stealers come to claim Billy Deal at Craftforge, but bring no trade goods for Jingly Shine. Great laugh joke for Gubby merchants. Sky stealers leave with grump face. Gubby does not understand why uplanders wish to trade tongue flaps with grump face sky stealers, but happy to lend for more laugh jokes.
Much obliged. If all goes to plan, we'll have you laugh joking over their sorry hides for summers to come.
Great happiness! For goody uplanders, Gubby shares one more laugh joke Sky Stealers whine cry about calling strong friend as they shame run. Friend may be strong, but Sky Stealer brain cases are still airy light.
The only thing to do is go to the destination. Well, here goes. So, are we the talk of the town yet? As far as I can tell, you're strong contenders. Perhaps second only to rumours about a mysterious intimidator who's cast a lot in with the cockatoos. Only natural those snivelling whelps hired a browbeater, but what thick-headed willingly courts the rancour of Red Bill Leofard? Oh, I suppose a few names come to mind, but no matter. Our plan proceeds as discussed. Let's take to the streets and wait for our clients to come crawling, eh? Whoa there! Are you the trader looking to chaffer with the monstrous cockatoos? Chafer? With scrags like you? Fury end me, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. That voice! Red Bull Leopard? As you live and breathe. Not for long, though. If you don't hand over what you and your dicky bird stole. Ha ha! Bluster all you like, Red Bill, but you ain't getting the better of us this time. We've treated with a sky pirate that'll crush you to pumice.
And there you were thinking this would be ever so simple. Were you not, my dear Leopard?
Not in the slightest. I was thinking surely Rhodelia and her talons would never sink so low as to become lackeys to a lackey. But here you are. I might even start to pity you.
And that is where you consistently underestimate me, Red Bill. I would stop at nothing to realize my desires. Or were the sweet memories we made together in Dunscaith not enough to convince you of that? But I suppose I might be willing to overlook your stubborn indifference, and return these stolen airship parts to you so desperately seek, if you would but call me your captain.
Completing that airship means more to me than you'll ever understand. I ain't leaving here without me stolen goods. If they're worth recovering, that is. You there, Cockalorum, you didn't leave the plunder in wind-aspected territory, did you? Of course you did. Head's as empty as a tosspot's tankard. Those airship parts are embedded with highly calibrated corrupted crystals. Put 'em in any contact with wind sprites, and they're no better than glorified scrap. But wait a moment, he said contact, didn't he? How many wind sprites go contact in the rock formations on Province, eh? It'll be fine. Utata, you got your hands on an airship, yes? Take her to Providence and go pick up her stolen goods. Some genius hid them under a rock.
You were bluffing.
Obviously. Don't make me doubt your intelligence, Rhodelia. What airship parts that can't handle a little wind?
Doubt what you like, Leopard. I hardly need bloody airship parts to beat you into submission. Let me slip into something more comfortable.
Elita? Did you say Elita? As in the Elita Draconia? Since when was she a friend of the Red Bills? Seems I'm not the only one whose name is worth something in these parts. I'm still prettier, though. Hey! Well then, sweet cockatoos. Let's get about cutting you up into cockatrees and fours, shall we? Red Bill by himself is one thing, but Elita's something else. Ain't nothing for it, lads. Flee for your lives! So much for monstrous. Let's leave him to the garrison. Ain't enough meat on their shivering bones to warrant chase. Radia. I reckon this was a little more than a diversion to you, but surely you didn't think I'd fall to such a weak hand. All the more pity that you assumed those airship parts were the only pieces of value taken from me and mine. But no matter. It's time to make your allegiances clear. If you and your talons intend to continue this farce, then we'll have it out here and now. Well? It seems I misjudged my prospects. I had thought those simpletons might amount to more than snivelling turntails. But I have neither loyalty nor affection for a useless cockatoo. I suppose I shall have to content myself with this reunion in itself, but you will need more than clever buffs to invade me next time, or that you may be certain. We were standing by in case you needed help, but I'm glad it didn't come to fisticuffs. Sounds like it's only a matter of time before Vigilia tries her luck again, and God only knows what she has in mind. While sky pirating may prove profitable, villainy shall not. May the cockatoos never forget the lessons learned this day. Those were some fine samples, without question, but nothing beats wearing me own rags again. Go ahead to the Parrock and wait for us in my chambers. We'll be along once I've spoken with our knights most thorny. I just want to make certain those snivelling cockatoos have had all their wings clipped. I'll meet you back at the Parrock. I was in Idleshire a while ago to trade, and I got talking with one of the goblin merchants. When I mentioned your adventures with the captain, he was excited to know all about you, even gave me a discount. I ain't ever seen anyone rile up the captain quite as much as that little Kate Sith. It's a bloody talent, I tell ya.
This way?
As punishment for sneaking out of his sickbed, we put the captain on the roster for deckhand duties. He was meant to take a turn at the watch, do the laundry, check the sailcloth, swab the floors. I managed to wriggle out of every single one of them.
Ah, there we go.
Well, Utata says all stolen property is accounted for, and finishing touches on our airship proceed apace. And according to the Rose Knights, the cockatoos will be shipped off to the Diadem, where they can enjoy volunteering their services for the betterment of mankind.
Speaking of which, Captain, what is to become of the miscellania recovered from the cockatoo's hoard? I'm sure House Hallionard will lay claim to their possessions, but as for the appearances of origins unknown...
Worry not, Puss. I don't put pocket in jiggumabob. I like some petty foister. We'll track down their rightful places soon enough, if my prediction holds.
Elita, is that you? It is, and you look quite as surprised as I feel to think we'd meet here among the clouds and sky pirates. I was just finishing up my affairs in Idleshire when who should come asking for me but Red Bull Leofard. Quite a thrilling twist to my day, I'll have you know.
How did the manual put it? She's got her fingers in more pies than a high street baker. When I got wind she was in Idleshire, I felt like snubbing fate not to enlist her expertise.
Well, I'm extremely glad you did, for I've returned triumphant. Allow me to present the famous travelling portraitist Durimert. Portraitist? But of course! Among the recovered items were a number of singularly beautiful paintings.
Oh, I am relieved to hear it. When I learned of which vessel had fallen prey to sky pirates, I thought those pieces would be lost forever.
So, you were yet another victim of the monstrous cockatoos. Still, a personal summons to the Parrot seems like a sort of social nicety, which the captain is normally intolerant.
Believe me, my presence here may have another purpose entirely. You see, Leofard and I are old acquaintances. He commissioned me to paint that portrait, in fact. My beautiful daughter, Ramiel. She looks perfectly at home here.
Beautiful daughter?
Aye, Durimert is father to Lady Ramiel, the gentlewoman who cared for Leofard as a lad.
He's abdicated all family affairs to his son when he became a practicing artist, but he's still a lord in lineage. You mean to say that the renowned portraitist Durimert is not only your grandfather, but a former lord as well?
Oh, you must forgive my blithe interruption from earlier.
Not to forgive, Mistress Tataru. On the contrary, I am indebted to you for tracking him down so quickly. Thanks to you, this happened just as I hoped it might. Construction's about finished on a new airship, and I wanted you here when I christened her. The Ramiel will fly again. My dear boy, celebrating your mother's life with you continues to be my great honor. When you hung her portrait here, when you named your first airship, I could see the vestiges of her love shining in your countenance then, just as it is now. I only hope you continue to realize her greatest wish for you, to live as free and unfettered as the sky itself. I know she would be very proud. A bit like herding corals, isn't it? Getting us adventure and types all in one room, but well worth the effort, I'd say. Moments like these are meant to be shared. Right, I believe we've got new airships to fly, and the open sky awaits. Now this is an airship. With how she handles, I could fly to the edge of existence and back, without so much of a hiccup. Which I hear is good, on good authority, or whatever authority, Emmanuel in his... when he's in his cups. You have literally done. I reckon I've never been such equal parts awed and envious, so I'll assume the invitation was simply lost by a post-Moogle. Nay, in all candour I'm certain there will be some skies only meant for your eyes. Escapades surpassing even my wildest imaginings. So chart the ends of eternity and horizons filled with pearl. I just don't think you've seen the last of what wonders these heavens hold. I'll come find you again before long, Elita, and I'll bring everything I always promise, that thrilling heady rush of high adventure.
Though farewell might be bitter sorrow, know this is but fodder for reunions most gay.
No need to get mawkish, Furball. It ain't as if Elita's dropping off the face of the star. Not permanently, anyhow.
We'll meet again soon enough, although Kate Sith is liable to mope like a damp kitten till we do.
I expect these parts will be free of half-baked brigands for a time yet. But should you ever find yourself in need of a red bill, don't hesitate to call.
Thank you. 'Tis no small comfort knowing our ships may distribute their wares in safety.
As for you, Elita, we'll be in touch.
Well, that was invigorating. While I'd love nothing more than to catch your collective breath over a cup of tea, business calls me to Ishgard. No rest for the enterprising and talented, as they say. Shall we, Duremert?
Might I persuade you to accompany us? I should very much like to hear of your adventures. Painting subjects I find personally inspiring is a particular credo of mine, and I dare say you have brushed shoulders with more than a few individuals of note. Thank you for indulging an old man's eccentricities. Now then, perhaps you could begin with the adventures you shared with Leofard and his crewmates.
Leofard intentionally offloaded this in our direction, yes? Whatever could it be? Whatever it is, Leofard's a man of his word. How mysterious. But now that I think of it, Leofard did mention sending something along when he asked me to track down Duremert. Well, I would make quite the sight lugging this around to all my meetings, so might I ask you to hold on to it for the time being? I trust you not to run off with my share of the reward. A gift from the notorious Redbills. You know, they're rather nice sort of sky pirate, don't you think? The national anthem. A bright and energetic young lady is your employer, Elita. I hope shepherding me back to Ishgard did not delay her business overlong. The tales you shared on the journey here were beyond anything I could have anticipated. Never have I heard such inspiring episodes of derring-do. Though I may not know them personally, I find myself fascinated by the individuals you described. The comrades and acquaintances of your journeys. Yes, I believe I shall remain in the capital to paint for a time. Should you desire a portrait, I would happily part with it for the cost of its supplies. Find me here and we can make the arrangements. I look forward to taking up my brush. Let us speak again once you have fulfilled your current obligations. Welcome back. I just received word from Mistress Tataru. What's this about? Portraitists and sky pirates. Redbill Leofard gave you this for the necklace. It seems to be a leather strap of sorts, an antiquated one at that. Wait a moment. I recognize this design from my studies. This is a relic of the ancient city of Mach. They said that Mach sorcerers would weave these cords with magics to make them unbreakable. You'd be hard-pressed to find better material for a necklace. Oh, Mr. Tataru will be so delighted. She chatted endlessly about how pleased she was to know the Redbills and what sort of products might prove useful to her daring new friends. And the Rose Knights have already placed an order for the garrison, so all in all, I believe our latest endeavour was a brilliant success. As always, we shall be on the lookout for new areas of opportunity, so I hope we can count on you to serve as our charming emissary again.
In fact, I believe Mistress Tattoo will insist upon it. Until next time. The Scions had the help of many souls gathering refined adamantite, did you not? Even those who were not part of the Ilstibard contingent. Perhaps there's an opportunity there. I shall speak with Mistress Tattoo post-haste. So let's see. There is nothing here. No quests in Labyrinthos. No quests in Ultima. No quests in the past. No quests on the moon. No quests in Gardenald. No quests in Resis. And no quests in Zapnir. Discard out to go to. Here he is. Hey, it's Picture Tattoo.
That's neat. A commissioned portrait of Istola View. Commissioned portrait of Thancred Waters. A commissioned portrait of Urian G. Ogret. Commissioned portrait of Tattoo Tattoo. Commissioned portrait of Grahatia. A commissioned portrait of Krell Valdesian. A commissioned portrait of Alice Levier. And a commissioned portrait of Alfred Levier. Let's go to... And to make space for let's see. I have more than enough room for them at least.
I wonder. I believe that was a 2 that was around here. Yeah. They're pretty neat, I like them. Decorate those walls, or I could decorate the walls there, or down here.
can't quite get that one to go there. I might be able to do it like this. Right, so there we go. I have from what I set out to do there. That's where I need to go for this quest. I've got to talk to this guy. Elevate, Elita. You headed in? No wonder I didn't finish these quests. Okay, I will do these next time I come on, but I will remember that they're here. No, I can do them. I got time. Drusilla is eager to get on the Voidsent hunt underway. Ah, there you are, looking deadly enough with that scythe to make me weak at the knees. I wager it's time we stopped faffing about and made ready to hunt our target. My lemures have been hard at work scraping together what information they can. Let's see what they got. Everyone here? Good. Agnes, you've met. No further Chimera-related incidents you'll be happy to hear. The overly chipper lass over there is Hemin. Make her acquaintances. As you know, Aquari is a Voidsent, and he goes by the name of Orcus. He's eluded the best, but these two are a step above that. Tell us what you've found. By your will, boss. I asked around about unsolved murders and disappearances, seeing if any involved someone matching the description you provided.
There's as many missing people as there are grains of sand, and no shortage of tragedies either. One, however, stood out among the rest. A woodcutter in a black shroud disappeared without a trace. No body, no belongings, nothing. An odd enough occurrence by itself, but the sightings of a stranger with pale skin as snow near his last known whereabouts piqued her interest. Now that's a promising start, but those woods are crawling with bandits and brigands of sorts. Dust quites and keepers are said to come in ghostly hues. Are we sure this man ain't one of them? As sure as I've ever been, boss. Not many bandits have ice-coloured blood. It's a match too close to ignore. I can't gainsay that. We have a lead.
If I may, boss, are you sure we need the help of this outsider? How much trouble could one poison be?
Hey man, she's standing right here for God's sake.
No, she's right. I've always told you to turn a wary eye to those outside the family. She's just doing her due diligence.
But trust me when I say we need every advantage we can afford. I made the mistake of misjudging Orcus' strengths before, and for my hubris my family and my flesh and blood was slain, all of them. Was planning on holding that back a bit longer, but 'twas before the Lemures. I swore two things. I'd repay that suffering 1,000-fold, and I'd never let that bastard take anything from me again. I mean to keep my vow, and I trust I can count on you to help.
You don't have to ask me twice, boss. Your wounds are my wounds, even the ones that become scars. We'll seek your vengeance, Rot.
All these years I've scraped to make this place for us. I look forward to the day he'd pay his dues. And it ain't just me we have to hunt him down either. He's a blight on the Eorzea itself, and the longer we let it fester, the more suffering it'll spread.
We need to corner him now, while we have the chance. Are you ready, Elita? You know those woods as well as any of us, and we'll need your experience if we hope to be back before supper.
Much appreciated. Alright, let's get to it. Hemen, I want you here in Ul'dah, keeping your ear to the ground for any news of Orcus' movements. Artemis, you lead us to where this woodcutter disappeared. By your will, boss. That would be the central shroud, so our best course would be to set off from Branch Meadows. Actually, I'll continue this next time. I'm just gonna head off for now because I really need to sleep. But I will finish the rest of this plot chain after. I at least have it set up so that I can get to where I need to. Thank you all for watching today. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and take care, my beloved darlings. Fairly well. Bye for now.